Dulce, Delight real-time recipe, take one.
Hi, I'm Raíza Costa from Dulce Delight, and today I'm gonna show you how to make an amazing frosting with a natural food coloring and how to decorate a birthday cake. It's gonna be the cake of your life. So to make the frosting, I personally don't like buttercream very much, so I kind of created my own pastry cream that's thick enough to decorate a cake. I'm gonna start by placing my heavy cream in a pan over low heat, okay? And I'm gonna place my milk and also my raspberry puree that you can take a look right here. It's beautiful. I just blended some raspberries, 2 cups of raspberries, that's it. I blended it, I sipped it, and here it goes. This is where the color from the frosting is gonna come from. All natural, from Mother Earth, that's all we need. So I have 1 cup of heavy cream in the pan, and I also have ½ cup of milk. And here we have a cup of the raspberry puree, which is roughly 2 cups of fresh raspberries, okay? We have to heat this on low heat because we don't want the cream to separate the fat from the liquids. It's very pinky and beautiful, just like this girl here likes, yes. Okay, so meanwhile, we are going to blanchir our egg yolks with the sugar. So blanchir, I just say it in a more English term, but it's actually in French. This word's in French, but since I don't speak French, I just say it with my own weird accent. So we are going to dissolve the sugar. So I need a little spoon here. So here I have 4 egg yolks, and okay, this happens quite often. So, I'm a professional chef. Yes, I am quite everywhere. So here I have ½ cup of sugar, and I'm gonna add to my 4 egg yolks. This process that I just called blanchir, oh wait, where's my whisk? I don't know where my whisk went. I think someone's gonna get a whisk for me. Maybe I should go get a whisk. Okay, someone's gonna get a whisk for me. And so by whisking, we can start with a spoon, that's all right. Oh, here it goes. Someone is very efficient. So here, the sugar's gonna dissolve. So once you incorporate with the heavy cream and raspberry mixture in the pan, there won't be any grains and there will be easier to cook. The other thing is, when you whisk your egg yolks with the sugar, you're actually making it sort of like stronger, so then it doesn't curdle as easily, because eggs can cook at a very low temperature, and if you heat it too much, it's gonna curdle. But if you do this process, it won't. So look, it's pale yellow. Do you see the color? It's like, it used to be very bright yellow. That's a little bit more pale. Beautiful, nice and thick. And I'm gonna wait for this to come to a simmer. Remember, simmering is not the same thing as boiling. Boiling is like crazy bubbles in a party. Simmering is like tiny bubbles, a little bit shy. So let's see if it has the right temperature yet. Not yet, because I don't see any bubbles. Oh, I do see some here. Do you see? Right here? So yeah. Let's wait a few more seconds and call it ready. I'll call it ready anyways. Yeah, I think it's ready. So what we're gonna do here is, oh, I forgot one little thing. Here to the egg yolk and sugar mixture, I'm gonna add my thickening agent, which is gonna be cornstarch. 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. Oh, grab my spoon. Here, beautiful. Whisk it just to combine. And the cornstarch is what's gonna make this whole cream thicken. The eggs, like the egg yolk also helps, but the cornstarch is a little bit stronger. So now we're going to temper these egg yolks. What are we going to do? It's a process super simple. You're going to pour some of this hot liquid inside, and you're gonna whisk it briefly. So this is literally telling the egg yolks, guys, it's gonna get really hot in here. Just get used to the heat, and please don't curdle. So this process is important, even though it looks like, you know, when professional cooks, they do certain things and they don't explain, people are like, I can just skip that. But sometimes when you skip it, you mess it up. So don't skip anything I tell you to do, because I only say important things. Back to the pan. Egg yolks are tempered. All right. Good stuff going on here. So I don't know if you've noticed or if you've ever done pastry cream before, but this is basically a pastry cream made with a juice, a natural fruit juice. You can substitute the raspberry puree for any other fruit you'd like. If you make it with mangoes, it's gonna have that bright yellow color. If you make it with kiwis, it's gonna have that bright green color. And it's a matter of picking the color or picking the flavor. I go with raspberries because it's pink and it's raspberry. Who doesn't like raspberry? Low heat again. We are going to cook this briefly. So, do you want me to explain you what happens here when we cook it? This is going to thicken? No? We are? Yes? Okay. So we're going to cook this just until it comes to a boil, full boil, crazy party bubbles. And then we're gonna wait 3 minutes. Every time you use a thickening agent such as cornstarch, you need to let it boil for 3 full minutes. Otherwise, it won't achieve its full thickening power, okay? So just rule of thumb. You can use that for your future reference. Here I have, so let's leave it by itself for a little while. Low heat. And here I have my cakes that I am going to start decorating, okay? I have the sponge cake that you can find the link on how to make it here on the description box. I just made this beautiful sponge cake, very nice. And first tip to start decorating this, you want to make like a vertical mark in your cake. You know why? Because you want to put the top, once you remove the top part, you want to put it back on the same exact place. That is the key to make a very stable cake and not like a crazy cake like me. No, you want a better cake. I'm gonna use my serrated knife to slice it in half. Doesn't matter if you don't do it super straight, because this trick I just showed you, this little guy here, will guide you. So you don't have to worry about being totally perfect here. All right, let's see. Okay, here we have 1/2. Let's reserve that. Slice the second half. Whisk it from time to time just to make sure it's not gonna curdle. Low heat. Okay, so again, little vertical mark. Some of you might be asking, why is she doing that? I don't get it. I still don't get it, but you totally get it once I start putting the frosting inside. It will make total sense. Slice it in half. So this is a basic sponge cake. A sponge cake is a cake that tends to be a little dry, but it's great for stacking because they don't get wobble and they don't fall and they don't break as easily. Look, I can lift it. I can show you. I can take a photo with it and it's gonna look perfect. So that's why people tend to use sponge cakes for decorating cakes. Good? All right, so reserve it because we don't have the frosting yet. Back to the pan. Let's make sure. Okay, so I left this for a couple of minutes. It's starting to get a little weird texture. We don't want that. Just whisk it. Look how beautiful it is. You see, it's pink. You don't need anything more than your raspberries to do this. Like I was saying, I personally don't like buttercream because I think it tastes like butter. I love butter. Don't get me wrong. Butter is amazing. But I don't think I want too much butter in my cake. Even though I'm using heavy cream here, which is basically the same ingredient, I think it tastes completely different. So the pastry cream is a great alternative and natural alternative because it's a natural pink color for your birthday cake, for the cake you're gonna make your kids or for yourself. You don't need to have a special occasion to make a cake. It's pretty thick right now. Come see it. Take a look. It's pretty thick, but it's not boiling yet. We have to wait for it to come to a full boil. And then we are going to let it boil for 3 minutes, reserve it. And one little tip I'm gonna give you. Once it boils, you're gonna pour in a bowl, and then you have to put plastic wrap on top and touch it. This is crucial because we use cornstarch, and cornstarch creates like that little thin layer on top of the whatever you're making. Like in this case, the pastry cream creates that thin layer on top. So to avoid that, you're gonna put plastic film and touch the surface. Okay, so I think it's been boiling for quite some time, so it's ready. Good. Turn it off. I'm gonna wash this, I guess, because I don't have another bowl right now. I'm gonna make a big mess in this kitchen. I'm not very organized, but my food tastes good, indeed. Yeah, so gonna put my pastry cream here. Very nice. I love this color. It's almost purplish. It tastes really good with blackberries too. I've done that several times. And one of my favorites is passion fruit. This pastry cream made with passion fruit, it's ridiculously addictive. Cool. So once it cools, I'm gonna refrigerate. But I just made one for you guys because I didn't want to have you waiting for my pastry cream. So I made one right here. That's already pretty cold and nice. Look, the plastic wrap, when you lift it, there's no skin on the surface. Little tip I'm giving you. All right, so let's put the piece of wood back on here. Is this too hot? No, it's good. So can we have that, please? Thank you. And just like magic, a stovetop becomes your cutting board. Oh. Beautiful. Okay, let's have the cakes here and start decorating these babies. All right, here, remember the vertical thing I made? So let's remove the top part. I don't like to put too much filling in my cake because I'm gonna decorate the outside. If you put too much filling, it's gonna be too sweet, this is not very sweet, but still, there's no need to go heavy on this. I do a little thin layer. I think that's more than enough because I like the outside to be more heavy because it's also going to look pretty. Nice thin layer of my pastry cream. All right. Now we're gonna put this right back on. Do you see where the mark is? So let's put back on here. Because in case, if you start stacking it just anywhere, it's gonna look weird and crooked. I don't want my cake to look crooked. Another thin layer of the pastry cream. Awesome. So the bottom part of the cake, where is the vertical? Oh, it's here. Okay. Is it on the right place? Yes, I guess it is. Nice. Remove the top part. Ooh, I'm sweating. Spread another thin layer of the frosting. And the good thing about making cakes at home is that even though cakes are super simple, people tend to get terrified by them. Like, oh, I cannot do it. Yes, you can. Cakes are very, very easy to make at home. You bake a nice cake, you have a frosting, you just decorate any way you want. Like this, I'm gonna decorate very simple because I don't like it to be very creative on my cakes. I like it to have a nice frosting and I like it to look like it was well done, but not crazy done. So I prefer not to use fondant. I prefer to go, to decorate with like fresh flowers, which is a good idea actually. You can definitely just use fresh flowers in case you don't want anything with a pastry bag. Or you can use a pastry bag, pipe some little dollops and, any way you want it. Time to celebrate. So here, I'm gonna bring this to the sides. Beautiful. First, you can do it roughly, just like if you're painting your walls or, fixing your walls. You do it roughly. You don't have to take too much care, you just do it. Do it once. And then the second layer, you're gonna be more precise, you're gonna be more detail-oriented, and that's what makes a cake look good. The first layer is like, just throw it, just do it. The second one's like, I'm a princess. I'm gonna do it so nicely. Okay. Here we have this, a little bit more here. And even though this is a pastry cream, if we whip some whipping cream and we incorporate to this, we are gonna have something called, oh, I forgot how it's called. I'm sorry guys, I will remember soon when I actually have to do it. All right. This is perfect. So I'm gonna freeze it for a couple of minutes, all right? And then I'm gonna have this layer thick enough and hard enough for me to come and do another layer on top. So just put on the freezer. Is it good? Yeah, it's pretty good. You tell me, because you're facing this, I'm not, but it looks good. Here. All right, that's perfect. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make some ganache that's gonna go on top of the frosting, okay? Simple ganache means heavy cream and good quality chocolate. You can use milk chocolate if you want to, but milk chocolate is too sugary. It's more like a candy than a real chocolate. A good chocolate means at least 60% cocoa solids, okay? This one is. You can tell by the color of it. So here, I'm gonna place my 1 cup of heavy cream to this pan. I'm gonna heat it, and then I'm gonna throw my chocolate in here. Everything will be melted and beautiful. Then I can pour on top of my cake after I finish frosting it. It's gonna have that dripping effect, that really cute effect. That's what's gonna happen here. All right, so as it heats, I'm gonna explain to you what else you can do with this ganache we're gonna make. If you melt this chocolate with heavy cream And then if you refrigerate overnight, you can actually whip it and you'll have a frosting just by making that. So it's literally like a frosting with 2 simple ingredients. I personally think it's also better than buttercream. It's up to you. It's like a personal taste, but you just melt these 2 together, refrigerate overnight, whip it, and you have an amazing frosting. That's it. So I'm gonna wash this. And here, that's cool. You don't want it to heat it for too long, because like I said, the fat separates from the liquids, and then you have a broken heavy cream. There's no way to put it back on. There's no way. You just screw up, then you have to start it over again. And you just wasted cow's milk. Not good. Her teeth said. Sorry, but that's where milk comes from. All right, this is starting to boil a tiny bit, like simmering a little bit. Do you see it? Okay, perfect. It's hot enough. I'll just pour it over the chocolate right here. And this heat will be enough to actually melt this chocolate. Let it stand for a couple of minutes. And then we're gonna give it a nice stir. It's gonna have that beautiful, amazing texture. It's hot in here. There's so much going on. It's in the stovetop. All right, back to the cake. Let's finish frosting it. Cool. Looks really cute. Looks nice. Okay, this is cold. I'm gonna add another layer of, oh, before I do that, you know what I'm gonna do? Something better. Before I finish frosting it, I'm actually going to use my cake stand, because then I can finish it and it will be already on the spot I'm gonna serve. So I'm going to slide this in there. I could have done this here since the beginning, but let's see what happens. I think I'll have a hard time doing it. But I have to figure out a way. Okay. Here. See why sponge cakes are so good? They don't break easily. Look. Perfect. Nice and easy. Nice. Okay, another tip I'm gonna give you to decorate this cake. Oh, where's my wax paper that was here? Oh, here. So you can cut little stripes on this this is actually parchment paper. You can cut like thick stripes, 2 or 3, so you can protect your cake stand from getting frosting all over. Then you just remove it and the cake is ready to be served. These are all simple techniques that can help you a lot with your homemade caking decoration. So here I'm gonna place this underneath the cake. Perfect. Again here. Oops. It's good. Another stripe here. This way you can go wild with your frosting. Like, just go for it. No need to worry. One more. I need one more stripe. All right. here. Okay, so another layer of the frosting. And if you live in a cooler place, I'm in London today and it's a relatively warm day. But if you live at a cooler place, the cooler you stay or the cooler your kitchen is, the thicker your frosting will be. So
2 minutes.
all right. Come down with this. See, your frosting can touch the plate and it's not gonna affect anything. It's not gonna affect your decoration. You have to have fun with the things you're doing, you know. Even if you feel threatened by it, just have fun. Because if you use good ingredients, it's gonna taste good. And if it's gonna taste good, doesn't matter if it doesn't look perfect. Of course, we always want it to look perfect. We always want to impress friends. We always want to do those things that our friends are going to be like, I could never have done that. But no, everybody can do a beautiful cake, no matter how sloppy you are. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Here. We're almost done on the sides. I'm gonna stop for 1 second just to give it a nice stir in this ganache, this chocolate and heavy cream. The chocolate is completely melted. We just have to incorporate them both. They're gonna look beautiful and shiny. If you use like a good quality chocolate, you're gonna see that's gonna look very shiny. If you use those chocolates that people call chocolate, but it's actually candy, then it's gonna be a little opaque. But I know you're gonna use an amazing chocolate. Here. If you heated the chocolate too much and you exceed the temperature it can take, then when you add any liquids to it, you are going to see that the chocolate's gonna become grainy in a few seconds. So when this happens to you, it's because you heated the chocolate way too much. You put the chocolate through some really tough times, which is not the case of our beautiful ganache here. That's looking pretty good. All right, so here we have the ganache. We're gonna reserve it to use it soon. And let's just finish this frosting here, pour the ganache on top, and decorate with some little dollops in the pastry bag. And that's it. The cake will be ready. Nice. You have to try to get like as little strokes as you can. So if you go from this side, you want to finish on the other side, but you want to go around as much as you can. Okay, so I couldn't anymore. So this is it. It's looking beautiful. One more on the top. So the way to do it, it's just you do one. If you have those cake plates that swirls, is it swirl? Is
Spin.
it? Yeah, spins, yes, spin. My vocabulary, it's amazing. If you have one of those cake stands that spins, it's easier because then you just spin it and keep your hand, just like if you're DJing your cake. But I don't have that, so you have to be like, start here, finish here, and try to remove as much as you can from the middle, so it doesn't look terrible. And then sometimes you just screw up and then you have to do it again, but it doesn't matter. Here, one more time on the sides. How's it looking on that side? Is it looking good?
Beautiful.
Okay, so that's what matters. The front side is the most important. The back side, yeah. So if you're gonna mess up, just mess up the back side. All right, frosting, nice. Then you can remove the paper and you're gonna have a clean plate, clean cake stand. You won't have to worry about, you know, getting your dishcloth and cleaning it and then messing up the decoration. Oh, just like I did. Little, okay, nobody saw that. Here, one more. I feel like the cake is not in a very safe area, and I'm a dangerous person. I can break things in a matter of a second. Here, it's quite beautiful. Very nice. Okay, let's see the ganache. Ganache is looking good. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna pour some ganache on top, starting in the center, so we can push it to the edges and make it and give that nice dripping effect of like 2 layers. I'm gonna start in the center. Ideally, you would put your cake in the fridge for a couple of hours so you get this first layer tiny bit more thick, more rigid. But we don't have this time on camera because this is a brioche show. So we're gonna do the way we can do here. Spread it all over the surface. And once you get to the edges, don't let it drip all over. We're gonna pick very wisely where we want it to drip. Everything's gonna look like, oh, that was effortless. But we actually put a lot of effort to do it. A little bit more ganache. Cool. All right. So here it goes. Once it has covered the entire surface of the cake, which has, right? The ganache is a bit too hot, but that's all right. So now we are gonna let it drip. So here, we push it right here, and we pick this edge. So you give it a little help, like go boy, go down. I know you want that. And then you continue to do every once in a while, right here. And eventually you have this effect along the entire cake. If you don't have enough ganache on top, just pour some more. I made enough ganache for a good cake. For a cake with a good amount of good stuff on top. And it's important to remember that all this color, this pinkish color that you get from this cake comes from natural ingredients. That's what matters. It's beautiful, but it's good for you. I'm not saying it's good for you to eat every day because we don't eat cake every day, but it's a good opportunity to eat a good cake doesn't have lab stuff in it. So natural food coloring is one way to go, especially with red colors that I don't like very much. I think red colors are more dangerous than other colors, but it's just my point of view. Okay, so here we have let me see how it's looking. Oh, I don't want to catch on fire. That wouldn't be very nice. If you don't have a pastry bag, you can use any plastic bag. You just cut the tiny edge of it. So you have a bag, you have two edges, like 2 points. So you cut one and you have a pastry bag, basically. You can do meringue on top too. Like if you whip some, you can whip some egg whites with sugar. You have a meringue, a French meringue, and then you can torch it and you have a beautiful cake too. Well, this is my cake. I hope you liked it. And let's sing happy birthday to whoever is making a birthday today, because that's my birthday cake right here. Thank you for watching.